Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, pack members. It is a great time to be a fan of film, to be one who is in love with the comic book genre. It's your boy, Midnight, team leader of Team Alpha Wolf Squadron. We are here today to discuss what I'll tell you. It's a little strange, it's a little mad, and there's a lot of universes involved. Ladies and gentlemen, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Now, so far, I've seen this movie twice. It's directed by Sam Raimi, starring the likes of Benedict Cumberbatch, Elizabeth Olsen, Chiwetel Gomez, I believe that's the correct pronunciation. We also have Benedict Wong, uh, Chiwetel Ejiofor, and some other surprises, which I will mention later on in the video. So at first, I want to start off by going non-spoiler, okay? And then I'll jump into my spoiler review for people who have yet to see the movie. This is a good movie. I enjoy Sam Raimi's direction. I like the horror elements that were used, and just especially the horror elements because it's going to start to open up so much more for the MCU. I think like now with this movie being done and seeing how Raimi had his hands on it, especially horror-wise, what we're going to see is I think Kevin Feige started to take in some more horror-based directors to step in and deal with some of their supernatural genre characters, such as Ghost Rider, Blade. I mean, we could get Dracula, maybe a Black Knight movie. Midnight Suns movie, bringing in Moon Knight as well. I mean, like, come on, there's a lot that can happen here, and I'm excited for all of it. Werewolf by Night. What are you kidding me? Even though Michael Giacchino is slated to direct that project, but I'm excited to see how the MC transfers and showing. Well, not even so much, but continues to evolve. That's what I'll say, because you have some people who will say that this isn't cinema, but the MCU is so many genres. It's so many layers. Everything is so unique and different to what it is. To me, Thor is a Shakespearean comedy. Captain America, that is your political thriller. Those are your political thrillers right there. You've got Iron Man, your straight up science fiction tech movies. Ant-Man and the Wasp, heist films like um, Logan was a western. Like I mean, there's Black Panther was a royal epic. This is a horror movie. This is a horror movie, and it does it very very well. The violence is definitely up there for sure, I'll say. But I enjoyed like the transitions. I enjoyed the crossfades that Raimi uses. I've enjoyed the characters. I mean, Doctor Strange, it, Benedict Cumberbatch is Doctor Strange. He just loses himself in the role. He's really good at what he does, and I like how he plays this very stern guy. I mean, he's learned, he's grown, you can see the transformation from where he's come from. How he started off as that arrogant bastard, and now he's really become this leader of sorts. Will he lead the Avengers? That's yet to be known. I believe there was an article confirming that he was not to be, but it's possible. Things may be looking that way, but we'll see who starts to enter. But I mean, the more showings we get out of Strange, the more you start to see him come into his own and as a leader, as a figure, as a voice in the MCU. I enjoy Wong in this movie. Wong is given more screen time. I mean, listen, dude's got some skill with the hands when it comes down to it. All right. The opening fight scene that we see in the trailer with Shuma Gorath, I really enjoyed that entire sequence, and it gets right to the action. Honestly, it's fast paced, non-stop, edge of your seat ride. Now, I will say, upon my second viewing, though, the second act kind of dragged a bit for me. Uh, like it just it could be shortened, but there could also be some more filler because you're so used to I mean, not some more filler, but it's because of the pace that we were going in that first half, truly. That when you get to certain parts of the second half, like, yeah, I could actually feel it a little bit. They could have picked up the tempo. I know they wanted to show things with Wanda and her background and things that I'll touch on in the spoiler half, but yeah, overall, I think this is a good MCU movie. Would I say it's better than the first one? I think so. Simply because I think I like the next step that it takes and the uniqueness of it, and having those horror elements, um, and really just playing on building that suspense. Some might say, well, it's not enough multiverse in this movie. Well, I'd argue it didn't need to be the cameo fest that everybody was expecting. Personally, I think that that would take away from the rest of the movie if we want to think about it in that way. Let's think of the narrative. There's so many things that we could have expected to see, and maybe they could have done that, but we didn't get that. So what's the problem? We still got a really good movie, a really good entry. We didn't need to see the entire uh, Marvel encyclopedia show up. We didn't need that. It wasn't necessary because it wouldn't have driven the plot much forward. It'd have just been like, hey guys, look who we got here and look who we have there. And it's not that time yet. That time comes, I believe, when there's noise being said around on comic book Twitter and uh what about Secret Wars? I think that's when that happens. But right now, and because the multiverse is still open, that leaves that there for opportunity. We don't need that right now. I have to You have to look at the MCU as kind of like your let's say your 12-course meal maybe. And you just got to get your dishes. Each dish must be unique and must fall in line with the theme of the night. Yeah, all right. That's how that has to go down. Okay, and each one will be different and unique, but they will all fall under that same thematic umbrella. Oh my gosh, who am I talking to right now? Do you feel that? Like, come on, it's the truth, though. It's the truth. Like that's how the MCU is, and that's why I love it so much. Now, right here at as of 7:36. We are getting into the spoilers. I just said that as of time 7:36. As of time 7:36. I will pull an Umar Johnson right now. As of 7:36 on this video, we are jumping into spoiler territory. Now, Wanda is one that I really want to talk about. Elizabeth Olsen is so good as Wanda. She's excellent as Scarlet Witch. She's phenomenal. She really is. Every positive adjective you can think of, she deserves it for this character, for this movie. I love the scene when she's talking to Strange and they're having that aerial conversation at Comertage, and she says to him that, oh man, it was not. It was. It's eluding me right now, but it was something that she did, and she called it mercy, and it's like, oh, that was mercy. Oh, so you just doing that little thing over there in West that was mercy. That's just the merciful part of your powers. What else are you capable of? And she lays waste like no tomorrow. Lays waste. Everyone at Comertage is gone. Gone. Except Wong. Everyone is gone. That scene when she's going through the reflections and her body contorts out. Oh my gosh, what? Are you kidding me? Her seeing her possessed by the Darkhold, and people are like, well, why didn't she just make those kids? But you have to remember, the Darkhold has possession of her. And it's like she's not even in her own right mind. It's already fractured. Now it's being possessed by a being that isn't even supposed to be there. by a force and energy that just takes over her, and it overcomes her and overwhelms her with emotion that she acts out in a way where she has to do what she has to do, therefore laying waste to Carmitage because she wants her children. And because of the dreams they would dreamed, what they dreamed was so real, it's just happening in another universe. And yet she wanted it so badly, she was willing to open up every multiverse there is to find her children and to make sure that she had them to herself. Am I talking to somebody? Seriously, that's what it is. That's all it was. And you can feel that as a villain's motivation. And I like the twist on it being the mother bear in that scenario, right? You know how like, mother grizzlies always, or just bears in general, really, mother bears in general, will defend their young, and they will do what they feel is necessary, because in that situation it's either her or it's you. And usually mama bear is going to win that one. If you ain't weaponized, mama bear is going to if you don't have the rifle, the shotgun, the double pump, if it ain't with you, she going to get you. Seriously, that's facts. And that's how Wanda is. If you were not prepared, oh, she was going to get you. Because notice how there was the one wizard, right? Who he's just standing there, and he's got the shield up, and she gets inside his mind, whispers in his ear, "Run." What? Broke him with just a word. His mind was too weak at the time. He wasn't focused enough. His mind wasn't strengthened enough, and he took off running. And that is how she started her attack. And it was crazy. And I love how Strange put her in the mirror dimension, but she started figuring it out. And she started reaching through puddles and snatching people. This is when the horror starts to come in. She started snatching bodies through into the mirror dimension, and she comes out of the other side contorted, black fingertips and everything. And Wanda's just about to cause damage. She's just about to cause damage, and that's what she does. And so, they escape. Strange escapes with America Chavez, and I'll touch on America Chavez in a bit. He gets out with America Chavez, and they start busting through all of those different multiverses. Now, this is the thing with that cameo, with the cameo fest that people were expecting. I mean, you got to see, why is it not enough that we got a visual spectacle of different versions of how the multiverse could look? You got one with paint, one with blocks, the animated one. There was the another one where like science was so far advanced. There was one where you're pretty much in the time of the dinosaurs. I mean, like, come on, it's a visual feast. Why is that not enough for folks? I don't get that. And I like seeing all of that, and it really plays out, and it's like, whoa, it's a wondrous experience. It really is. I'm feel so good because I'm so hyped to talk about this movie. Let me tell you, and listen, um, that's what I like about it, because Sam Raimi knows how to put on a visual show, and he does it. I really think I think he was the guy for this, and I would like to see him do the next one. Let's see if we go a bit darker. How will that look? I'm down for it. Let's see it. Seriously. Now, we'll cut ahead. So they get to so Strange and America get to Earth 838. And on Earth 838, apparently the red lights mean go and the green lights mean stop. Interesting concept. I like that. Bruce Campbell shows up in a funny cameo. If nobody else liked it, whatever. I thought it was funny. Okay. And then with the end credit scene, he ends up punching himself. Well, he stops punching himself after the 3 weeks that was said that that he'll be punching himself. 21 days of constant bruising to your face. Come on. Yeah, after a while, I'd be thinking, man, I mean, wouldn't you just be knocked out at that point? And then you're just dead, body's just twitching, you just hit yourself constantly. But no, I like that Bruce Campbell cameo. It's pretty funny to me. So you get to Earth 838, and then we see their version of the Illuminati. Now, I was right about I was right about some of the folk that would show up, and I was actually pleasantly surprised by the fact that Black Bolt was up there. Now, I had a picture on my phone that I saw on Twitter, and it's a poster with Strange, and then you have the Illuminati sitting up faded in the background. You can't really see who it is, but like if you zoom in, you can kind of see their emblems on each of their uniforms. So you see Reed Richards, who was there, played by who? John Krasinski. That's what's up, Big Jim Halpert. A Quiet Place director. Gotta love John Krasinski. Gotta love John Krasinski. I would like to see more of what they do with him in the future. And now there's been speculation of, well, what if this is just a one and done for him, and really, maybe he's not starring in Fantastic Four. Uh maybe he's just directing it. Well, I mean, I'd say to that I mean that's a very possible thing because everyone does not look the same in each multiverse. As we could tell, Captain Marvel is sitting on the Illuminati, but it's not Carol Danvers. It's Monica Rambeau instead. Also in the Illuminati, you get Professor X. Patrick Stewart is back. Yes, I was pleasantly surprised to see that Black Bolt has returned, and I did not realize that Anson Mount played him, which is really cool. I have to finish Hell on Wheels. That's the show that he stars in, and I really was enjoying his performance so far. Right, I need to finish that. He's also in another show that has just come out, Star Trek: Strange New World. So if you haven't done so, go check that out if you like Star Trek. I have not looked at it myself yet, but I know at some point I will. But anyway, back to Strange. So, yes, you had Captain Marvel on the Illuminati. You had Black Bolt on the Illuminati. You had Reed Richards. You had Professor X, Captain Carter, played by Haley Atwell. She's up there as well. Baron Mordo himself is on the Illuminati. And I enjoyed what we got. And for people who are like, well, why weren't the Illuminati there enough? Well, it's not an Illuminati movie. It's true. They are supporting characters that are help move the story forward. That's what they're there for. That was the purpose that they serve. This isn't an Illuminati movie. Everybody's kind of expecting when you tell a story, you have to all your characters can't be at the same time. You have to have some supporting cast. They were the supporting cast. Yes, they were made up of some of the greatest individuals in Marvel. But you have to understand, it's not the Illuminati comic. All right, this is Strange the Multiverse of Madness, and these are characters he's also coming in contact with to help forward the story, and that's what it does, and it works. It definitely works, and I like seeing them because they help Strange realize that, well, I mean, the greatest threat to all the multiverses, as they said, is Doctor Strange himself, which could be a hint to that what if scenario, right? What makes him different? Because Strange was thinking to himself that he always knew what was right till he ended up causing damage and they had to erase him. Therefore, Black Bolt speaks and he's gone, which is awesome. Just think of that power. When you speak, total, just total destruction. It's insane. I like Black Bolt. Black Bolt's a great character. So it was great to see him. But when Wanda steps through and fights the Illuminati, she is not playing at all. Let me put it to you like this. When you have a line, when she says, "What mouth?" after John Krasinski, Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, says, "Look, Black Bolt can destroy you with just an utterance of his words. Please don't do this." She's like, "Whoa, what mouth?" Gone. She's trying to speak. Boom, head explodes. What? Shreds Reed into string cheese. Goes to war with Captain Carter. Sends the shield through her torso. Brings an entire statue down upon Captain Marvel. Are you seeing a pattern here? Listen, she's so powerful. Listen, after Xavier infiltrated her mind, She was able to deceive him and come out of nowhere like a wraith, break his neck, and leave. What? One isn't. It love her. She's dangerous. She is dangerous. Okay, she like seriously dangerous. All right. What else? Oh, America Chavez. I said I was going to talk about America Chavez. Uh, yes. So America Chavez, I enjoyed her character. She was cool. She was cool. I like the kind of mentor mentee teacher student role that Strange and her had in this movie. I really like that dynamic between them. She's kind of a smart ass like he is, but also she's a little more laid back compared to him being uptight. And I think that there's a good dynamic there between the two of them. I like her power, how she's able to jump between multiverses like that. That's really cool. Maybe at some point in another series, she will end up finding her parents because this is not the last we see of her. It's definitely not the last we see of her, as according to the ending of this movie, because she also starts to learn magic at Carmitage when Carmitage is being rebuilt. So I just wonder what she'll pop up in. I don't know for sure. I think Miss Marvel might be a little too soon. Maybe she'll pop up in the movie The Marvels. Maybe she'll show up in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. I think those are two likely films that she might show up in. Maybe even She-Hulk, since that'll be another series coming up. How will she tie into the multiverse? They may not do that with that. Maybe not so much. I'm not sold on that, but I would say definitely, possibly Quantumania, and definitely, possibly Quantumania, and definitely, possibly the Marvels. That might be a thing. Uh, and so yeah, I enjoyed America Chavez. I definitely enjoyed America Chavez. And really with her character, it's like the only way she's able to activate it is based off of fear. And I love in the end how Strange, after he beats Sinister Strange, which that fight was great, and with the musical notes and all that, that was fire. All right, that was lyrically sound. Okay, that's literally the blueprint. All right, when they were going back and forth, just that battle scene. Oh, it was so good, so good. So yes, uh, she activates it out of fear, and then hello, she activates it out of fear. But then in the end, Strange is able to coach her while in Zombie Strange form, which I forgot to mention. Yes, Zombie Strange is a good guy in this. The way they use Zombie Strange is great. So after he possesses the body of Zombie Strange by using the power of the Darkhold against Wanda, which is also crazy because this might spell possibly a corruptible downfall for Mr. Strange himself. And America is able to take that power and go against Wanda with no problem. And it's not a confrontation of the physical kind. It is a confrontation of let's reflect on you and see what you've done and how you're going to fix this. And so Wanda sees her children with Wanda in a different universe and she scares them. The ones we've been following the whole movie, who eventually, the one that she possesses, she sees them and they're terrified of her. They want nothing to do with her. They reject her because that's not the mom they know. And Strange asked a very good question. Exactly. He was literally being a dad to America. It was great. Um, and so Strange says to her, he's like, "Well, what happens to their mom? You take her out and you replace yourself with them. Well, doesn't that mean you're literally eliminating the one thing that they knew and loved? They're not going to love this version of you. They're not going to enjoy this because you came with fear, you came with horror, you came with terrible intent. And nobody should put that kind of love on a child. I mean, when you think about it, that's really deep. That's really deep because Wanda was just really not in the best mental place. And it goes to show you, like, you see in her other character, you see in the other universe that she's in, how much she really loves her kids. And then this other universe, it's like, well, I love them, but I lose myself in my own selfish desires that I don't even think about everyone else around me who this affects. And it's hurtful. And really that's a really good theme for this movie. And it came out Mother's Day weekend. What? Come on. So yeah, I really love that dynamic that they showed, and when she looks at herself, she's like, this isn't right, and she brings down the entire tower. I forgot the name of it. I think Becken Bendigard. I think it's Bendigard. She brings down the whole tower of Bendigard. I don't believe she's dead for a second. I think she'll definitely be back. I don't think she's dead because for one, she's way too powerful. If she just brought down the tower, I mean, what's that going to do to her? She probably put up a shield around her as it was falling. We just didn't see it. I don't know, but I'm not convinced that she's dead at all. So that being said, I mean, this was just an overall great movie. Um, Please, if you guys have a chance to go see this, go see this. Now, I went to see it. Like I said, I went to go see it twice, and I saw it in 3D the second time. It gave me a headache. I didn't really enjoy that part. I mean, even though I took the glasses off, I'm watching it, and it's like it's just a blurred version of standard def. I know I could still see it clearly. It just wasn't like popping off the screen. It really was bothering me. She has. Oh, we got a comment. Well, she has a point, but she had her broken mind. She wanted to take the kids from the room on because she misses her imagination kids. Exactly, exactly. Lover, you are exactly right. Because watching WandaVision, which is, I think at this point, this is a movie that, I mean, not a movie, but this is a show that everybody probably everybody should watch before this movie because it really ties in. But at the same time, I mean, it is a good entry point because you kind of get the gist of it automatically. But it's good to have some backstory from WandaVision. And yes, you're right. She is missing her imagination kids, which is where the dreams come in. Because even when Strange was dreaming, the dream that he had with America and Defender Strange, that was an actual event that was occurring. It was just happening in another universe and he was seeing it. So it was real. It just wasn't real for him, but it was real somewhere else. Same thing with, Wanda. Like those kids are real. That family is real, but it's just not in her universe, and it's incredible. I just love how they flip it, like the themes and the stuff. I just love good storytelling, man. That I really do. I really do. I myself, I'm still working on the book, and just watching these movies kind of gives me so many ideas on just how to tell a story. I love it. I love it because you really get to see Wanda and Strange really foil each other throughout the whole movie, and I mean they're just really like similar. And so when you see towards the end, right after the battle, if I want to rewatch it, get 40, I'm gonna definitely do that. I definitely want to do that. A 40x theater, that will be awesome. Because you get the sound effects, the chairs moving. It's like you're in a simulator, from what I understand. I gotta do that. I don't know that there's not one near me. I think I had to go to Annapolis. There's like a Regal Cinema. I think they're only at Regal Cinemas because they definitely don't have them at AMC. Well, at least not at AMC here. But I would love to do 40x. I would love to do 40x. Definitely. Thank you, lover. I appreciate you being here. This it's just giving a great conversation. Everybody give lover a hand. I'm enjoying this. Um, but yeah, I think this is definitely a movie everybody should see. I think this is a people are saying, well, where's phase four going? I think this is leading to Secret Wars. I really think it is. I'm starting to be convinced about it because look, right? Look, you have all of these. Let's start with this. When Shang-Chi came out, and then the end credit scene, they're talking about um the 10 rings, where they come from. They're ancient. I feel like it's made of adamantium. I feel like they're made of adamantium. And so, but after this movie, it's kind of like, well, maybe it's not adamantium. I don't know. But what if the rings were from a different universe and they somehow ended up in this universe, the 616 universe that we have right now? I don't know. That could be far fetched. I'm gonna stick to my adamantium theory, but that's just something I'm thinking. And so we have that happening. Then we have the Eternals and the Celestials, which I'm not really a fan um of Eternals, especially when you have like it's a giant celestial coming out of the earth. I just can't wrap my mind around, and it's not, to say your imagination is limited. No, that's it's not. It's just it doesn't really make sense how no one is seeing this. Why isn't everybody over there and not just the Eternals? So I think the Celestials are going to come in. Arashim says he's going to come back and change Earth. And yes, lover, I yes, I feel like something bigger than the time stones are coming. Absolutely, absolutely. What do what do I think might show up? Well, now we got to think of really important Marvel artifacts. I definitely will say all black. The Necro Sword is coming in Thor: Love and Thunder. That goes without saying. That's ancient, and it belongs to the symbiote god Null. And now we know Venom is in this universe. So will that story play out? Will we see that in possibly a Secret Wars storyline? Will we have that in the Spider-Man movie? Who knows? I think that's King in Black is too big of an event to just put in one movie. So I mean, I don't know. Uh, yeah, that's just too big an event. I mean, it's probably possible they could do it, I just feel like that's just that's a tall order to ask. So I mean, what other ancient artifacts? I mean, that you have to think about. What if the collector starts to lose some things? Maybe if somebody starts, I don't know, robbing the collector at some point, and scattering all of these different artifacts. I can't really think of any off the top of my head right now. Uh, like I just can't. I can't think of any off the top of my head right now. But there's going to be a lot more that we get. We're going to get a lot more multiverse. That's going to continue with Ant-Man and Quantumania. I'm pretty sure the Marvels may have to touch on this. The Scrolls still aren't going anywhere. We still have to figure out where Nick Fury is. Like there's so much stuff. Here we go. The Secret Wars were introduced at Doctor Strange 2 with the explanation about the incursions. Like Reed said, exactly. I read something about that today, about the incursions, which really leads me to think, because it was like one incursion brings the two Earths together, which they collide, and then it kind of what creates all these other ones, but they just keep colliding and destroying each other. It's like constant collision and chaos. And I mean, it's being set up. Will that be the grand finale? Possibly, which is why they're bringing in the Fantastic Four now, which is why eventually the X-Men will show up. I'm pretty sure, because with Secret Wars, we get Battle World, where Grandmaster puts all of these heroes and villains that we know and love into an arena, into a fight to the death. It's going to get interesting. It's going to get interesting. Secret Invasion is also coming. I think that'll be. I don't know if that'll be a movie or a standalone series. Uh, I'm not sure, but I will do some research and look that up for you guys. But Lover says, yeah, like I think the chaos will start to show up more in Ant-Man Quantumania. Absolutely, absolutely, because like there's gonna be the Ant-Man movies have started to touch so much on the subatomic and the potential of that multiverse, and really diving into further the physics and science of, like what are the possibilities of these endless realities and the probabilities. We already got the time jumping thing from Endgame. So I mean, there's just going to be so much here at stake here. Even Loki with the creating different timelines and averting time. Oh my goodness, it's so much. This is science fiction at its peak, ladies and gentlemen. This is it. Yeah. How can you not love this? How dare you, Martin Scorsese? How dare you say that this isn't cinema? How dare you say this isn't cinema? This is you're crazy, man. You're entitled to your opinion. That you are entitled to your opinion. But I believe this this is cinema. I think Kang will show up there like a Thanos. You know, there's so many villains I want to see. I think Kang will be the villain for Quantum Mania. I I just it's just I wonder how many more phases are you gonna go. Maybe they'll start to wrap it up where maybe it's like we'll have a villain for each phase, but it won't be the overall. But there'll be one overall villain for the next few phases throughout the next line of stories they tell. There'll be one overarching villain, but we'll have one main one for each next phase. So that might be possible. I just think like I want to see a nihilist. We have to bring in Doctor Doom. Magneto has to show up at some point. I think some may not say it or may not like it, but honestly, I'm gonna tell you, I would love I would love a Sinister Six movie done correctly. I want it done correctly. I want a Sinister Six movie because I think it could work. But you gotta get the right people in place. Get people who know how to do an ensemble cast. I mean, John Watts knows how to do it. Get John Watts to do it, honestly. Sam Raimi, do that. Like come on. Just James Gunn. Like, come on. Jeez, man. Just get somebody right to do it. Uh, Here we go. Another comment. I think Secret Wars will be like in Avengers 2012. God, gotta love 2012 Avengers. We're walking into a new Avengers Endgame. Oh yeah, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Um, Maybe it'll be 6 phases that they do. I don't know. I mean, with the success Marvel has and the money that they're bringing in, I mean, look at this. Doctor Strange raked in like what 185 million this weekend alone. Opening weekend. I'm sorry. See, look, it crossed the $200 million domestic mark on Monday. It's nearing 300 million at the international box office. So, I mean, honestly, if these movies keep making what they're doing and they keep doing this at a high rate, at a high level that we love and enjoy, and we can just watch like one big TV show as one world, honestly, uh, I, hey, then keep making them. If you can keep making these at an exceedingly high level, then do it. I mean, all dynasties run out at some point. At some point, they end. I would prefer that when Marvel decides to say, hey, the movies are done, I hope they do it when they are at their peak. And right now, I just hope and continue to hope that Endgame was Endgame was peak, but let's see how much higher. Let's see how much higher we can get. Let's see what the next peak will be. And if we can supersede Endgame, Marvel hats off to you. Honestly. Now, this was longer than I thought it would be, but it was fun. I enjoyed this. I enjoyed talking to you, lover. Please continue to follow. I have some more coming out soon, and definitely gonna be talking some more stuff. I gotta go watch Minds MC. Got to get caught up. Okay, I got to get caught up on Tokyo Vice. Want to talk about that some more. Like I said, the past weekend I've been watching a bunch of movies, so there's a lot more reviews that will be coming soon. So remember, please follow me on Instagram at the Midnight Cinema 41. You can follow me on Twitter at the Outlawed Mime. Okay, you can also subscribe and follow my podcast. Download it, please, on Spotify, Wolves of Midnight. Also on Pocket Cast, Google Podcasts, and like I said, I'm still working on getting it to Apple Podcasts. So this will be fun. You know, guys, this was great. Go see Strange when you can. Okay. Remember, one pack, one nation, one smooth howl. Arrgh! Love y'all. Be safe out here.